Hey guys, this is Mel, and I'm here to talk about the Vampire Diaries, episode 814, titled It's Been a Hell of a Ride, which premiered Friday, February 24th, 2017 on the CW. Now, guys, huge reminder, a huge spoiler alert, so if you haven't seen the episode, go check that out first before you come back and see what I have to say about the episode. Otherwise, all my other video reminders are up on screen, so I have a little quick review for that. And otherwise, let's start with the 10-minute clock, and let's begin with what happened in this episode. So first off, the episode title itself, It's Been a Hell of a Ride, was said by Damon to Elena in episode 120. So that's a huge little throwback right there. Timeline-wise, though, this episode takes place immediately after 8:13, especially since we see Damon's desiccated body. So what this said storyline-wise, I only picked out two main storylines for this episode. The first one being Damon's deal with Cade to kind of return him back to the land of the living. And the second one had to deal with the out-of-control siphon magic that the twins were dealing with. So from the first storyline with Damon's deal with Cade, because Kai had sucked all the magic out of him, which killed him, Cade agreed to return Damon back to the land of the living, I believe, so that he could retrieve the ashen dagger that Kai had stole from Cade. So there's that, and since Damon was kind of, well, why would I want to do that? Cade revealed that he has Elena's coffin. Kai had used that as leveraged against him to kind of gain an upper hand. So Damon agrees to save Elena's casket. So in the end, though, Damon is forced to pick between either saving Stefan or saving Elena. In the end, he picks himself. He sacrifices himself to Cade, since Cade said, you only one soul, or I will only be taking one soul, and that would either be he's taking Elena's soul, so killing her, or taking Stefan's soul, or killing him. So instead, Damon says, pick me instead, because eventually you're going to take me, but why not take me now and give Stefan a little more time as a human to atone for everything. So in the end, Damon stakes himself, which leads to Cade going up against Bonnie, who tries to use her newly discovered psychic link to kind of keep Damon away from Cade and from going to hell. In the end, though, Stefan kills Cade, and Damon is blasted back into his body from the shockwave that resented from Cade's death. Second storyline, though, deals with the twins and their out-of-control siphon magic. We find out, as well as Alaric and Caroline, that Kai went through exactly the same thing the twins are going through at this age, where they're discovering that what they could do with magic, but not being able to always have access to it, and how kind of feeling magic everywhere, but always being restricted and stuff. He describes it a lot better, though, and then he also shares how it was different for Joe, because his twin sister Jo, because she had access to magic whenever she wanted, while Kai had to siphon it from things. He also said that the behavior only amplified because the twins were brought into a place where they were surrounded by magical objects that they could siphon off of, which leads to Kai actually siphoning magic from the armory cell to help break his escape. So there is that. And then it deals with Kai trying to track down the twins and terrorize them, having them go against Alaric and stuff like that. So moving on to tidbits is the fact that Stefan proposes to Caroline again after his talk with Damon about how he should run away and try to go off on his own to try to atone, but just to stick with family and those you love, and they'll help you along the way. You also get Enzo, who Bonnie still sees in her own personal psychic dimension. He tells Bonnie to be open to the idea of forgiving Stefan, otherwise it's just going to eat away inside of her, those feelings of hatred. Next, we have Alaric having the idea to open a school for special kids like the twins, and he wants Caroline's help to do that. So I thought that was pretty cool. Next is the fact that Bonnie creates a new prison world for Kai, one where he is left alone. He's stuck hearing the same sound over and over again, and there's no eclipse for him to worm his way out of. And she was able to do this with help from the twins because they had Gemini magic, or they could siphon and use Gemini spells since they were from the Gemini coven. So there is that. Little interesting to see how she was able to put him there and then visit him long enough to tell him and then get out. But I think it had to do with the ascendant that they were able to put back together. So there's that. And also we find out that killing Cade does not destroy Hell like Kai had told us it did. So, which moves me on to my most shocking moment of the episode. There's two of them. And it was the fact that, one, Stefan managed to kill Cade. I was not expecting that, especially with 2 episodes left of the series. I thought Cade's defeat, if it were to happen, were to be in the finale. So I'm surprised that it actually happened. And the way it happened was pretty cool, but I'll get back to that later. And the most shocking of them all is the fact that Kai revealed that now that Cade's dead, the role of the devil is now being taken upon by Catherine Pierce herself, the biggest, baddest bitch of them all, as he said. So that was surprising. I gasped in surprise, great joy, even because that means we're going to get to see Catherine again in the finale. My brother, who has missed a few episodes, was even excited to hear the news in that moment. So shout out to you there, bro. So there's that. But moving on to top 3 favorite moments, though. First one has to be Stefan outsmarting Cade. He did this on 2 occasions. Once was getting Alaric's help by ringing the Maxwell bell to distract Cade in their fight long enough for him to put in a few good stabs. Fortunately, Alaric having to be called away kind of put a hold on that plan, but it was a good planning place to start with, so I really like that. And also, it makes sense because he can't ask Matt and he can't ask Peter, because if they rang the bell, then that would release hellfire. But if Alaric, who's not related to the family, the Maxwell family, is able to ring the bell, then it's just a regular bell to them. So there's that. Also, Stefan actually surprising Cade and killing him, and from the front, no doubt, was a huge surprise, but it was just a great moment to see human Stefan doing this. As he said, it was his fault that Cade was even there to begin with, since he forced Matt to ring the bell to begin with. And the way that Cade died, the whole fiery flesh emerging upwards and then having it explode, that was pretty cool, the way it was done. So that was cool, and that was why it's one of my favorites. Second favorite has to be Damon and Stefan. Not only do we get the concern that they have for each other before they even confront Cade, that was great. The whole fact of Damon not picking between Stefan and Eleni, but picking to sacrifice himself for them, that shows just how far Damon has come since we've met him in the first season. I really liked the place the 2 brothers are in with each other. And then at the very end, when Damon came back to his original body, the hug between them, I always love that. It reminded me of 605 when they were reunited together. And then just having them have a drink together by the quarry near Damon's car, and just having that heart-to-heart talk. I really like that. I definitely like where the brothers have grown to be. I guess you can say their dynamic has definitely changed, but it has gotten better. So I'm really glad to see that we got a few of those moments together. Last favorite moment, I have to say, will be the many full circle reminders. And I meant this in the fact that we just found out that Catherine is now the new devil that they have to take on. And full circle being the fact that Catherine was the first villain that we were introduced to back in season 1. She was the reason why Damon was brought back to town. She was the reason why everyone was afraid of her coming back to take over Elena's life or to get rid of Elena. And now she's going to be the last. So we started with her, and now it looks like we're going to end with her as the villain. Another full circle moment was Kai's hunting down Josie and Lizzie. It was very reminiscent of when we saw flashbacks of Kai doing that back in 1994, when he was trying to find Luke, his own twin siblings, when they were roughly Josie and Lizzie's age. So even the camera angles and the camera trailing behind Kai, the way it did, it was very, it paralleled what we saw in 604 when we saw the flashback for the first time. Yeah, I believe it was 604, but back in season 6 anyways, when we when we discovered that Kai belonged to the Parker family. So there's that. Another full circle moment has to be with Damon being forced to pick between saving Stefan or saving Elena. The fact that Damon ended up sacrificing himself for the two of them showed great evolution on the part that Damon's known for saying, "I'll always choose you to Elena." So if in the past, if this situation were to come up and there's a timer, Damon would have picked saving Elena without question. But now he doesn't. He sacrifices himself and does the unselfish thing and saves the two people he cares about most. So I really like that. Full circle wise for Damon, he's shown great improvement. So there's that. So since the timer went off, I'm just going to go a little quickly. But next moment, or top 3 peeved moments I have. I didn't really have any peeves with this episode. I actually liked the episode. I didn't really find any issue with it. Any issues I had was more on my end, as in my viewing experience. I had a few interruptions along the way, but that had nothing to do with how the episode presented itself. But what I remember most when I look back on this episode, the fact that Cade was outsmarted by the Salvatores, the fact that he was defeated, the fact that we learned from Kai that Catherine's now the new devil, or deviless, I guess you could say. So there's that. Any random questions now? Well, I have a few. And first one is the fact that could Alaric's school idea be the way that we see him on the originals in this upcoming season 4, which is set 5 years from the season 3. So I'm wondering, since Hope is going to be a little girl, Hope is roughly the same age as the twins, I believe, if my math is correct. So maybe through Hope, that's how maybe she gets enrolled in Alaric's new special school or something, and maybe that's how they're connected. But it'll be interesting to see just how Alaric's school idea comes along, for sure, and if that's a way that we get an originals in for that one. Second question, did Kai get acquainted with Catherine while in hell? Just from the way that Kai was describing Catherine, it seemed like he kind of knew from experience just who she was, as opposed to hearing about it through the legends and all the stuff around him. So I'm just wondering if he did get to know her one-on-one, or if and how much they got to know one another too. Because you see on YouTube a whole bunch of videos about Kai and Catherine and everything. You gotta wonder what that would be like on screen. So next question, and it's my last question, is the fact that how did Catherine become the new ruler of hell? I mean, if anyone had to take Cade's place as the devil, I thought it would have been Bonnie, just because she shares the same power skill set that Cade has. She created her own psychic dimension. She has roughly the same psychic abilities as he does from the looks of it. So, and while Catherine didn't have any magical abilities. If anything, she was a traveler who was never trained, and she was a vampire, if not anything else. So was it just the reputation of how evil or how hellbound Catherine was, and that's why she's the new ruler, or what? That's the question for me. Moving on though to predictions, based off the promo for 8/15, it looks like in order to lure Catherine out, Stefan and Caroline push up their wedding. We actually see them full-blown ceremony. It looks like Damien might be the officiate for it, and it looked like we got some hints that Catherine is in town, maybe like her curly hair, or just her shadow. Like little key moments like that though. But based off the synopsis though for 8/15, it reads that a wedding is quickly planned in order for Damon and Stefan to lure a dangerous enemy out into the open. This looming threat puts the fate of Mystic Falls in imminent danger and must be destroyed. And rightfully so, because as we remember, season 1 and season 2, Catherine on the loose was not good for the city. So new questions off of that though. I know that we won't actually see Catherine in 8/15 just because Nina Dobrev wasn't confirmed until the finale, but I'm definitely excited to see that for Nina Dobrev's final appearance on the show, we are going to get her as Elena and as Catherine. Elena, because of the teaser trailers that they've been releasing, they released a new one where she comes face to face with Damon, but now with Catherine being the new ruler of hell, and as the new enemy they have to now face, it looks like we are also going to be seeing Catherine as well. And I'm interested to see what Catherine is like after spending so many years in hell so far. Like, she was sent back in season 5, 6, yeah, roughly 2-3 years in the 3-year timeline, roughly 6 years she's been in hell, roughly. So it'll be interesting to see how much Catherine has changed or how much more darker she is, though. Also, guys, as you know, familiar faces are supposed to set to come for the final 2 episodes of the series. On screen, you have the list of who has already appeared. I already know a few that are supposed to be appearing in the finale. Aside from Nina Dobrev, I have 4 more appearing. 2 more have already appeared. So we'll just have to wait and see what the last 2 episodes have to hold for us. But aside from that, what do you guys think of the episode? What do you guys like about it? What do you think is going to happen next? Let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to hear your own thoughts, theories, opinions, but what you think is going to happen next. Also, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and check out my other videos if you haven't done so already. Also, if you want, check out my Tumblr page. The link for that is down below. I read blog promos, web clips, quotes, GIFs, synopses, news, all that good stuff, all found in one place. So go check it out. I also do other TV shows. So if I follow one that you do, then follow me for that as well. So there's that. It's also connected to my WordPress account. It's a little more organized over there, though, for everything that I post. So you can find everything connected to that or through any of my profiles, really. So go check me out there. If you want a detailed recap of the episode, a play-by-play, if you will, of a jot noted version with my in-moment thoughts and questions and theories of my first run-through for the episode, check out my Livejournal entry account. The link for that one is down below, as well as any of the other recaps I've done. I started them in season 2, so it's been a few years I've been doing them. But those help me remember the specifics of what happened in the episode, since the most notable reminders for me usually revolve around my favorite ship moments. So with that all said, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you come back next week to hear what I have to say about the next episode. But until then, guys, this is Mel, wishing you all a great day, great week, wherever you are. Bye for now.